Hi children, welcome to the class. Hope you all learned how to enjoy the beauty of a poem. Today we are about to understand how unconditional and dedicated work becomes worship of the highest form. Dear children, does this image convey something? Yes, I thought so. You are all fast enough. Yes, this image talks volumes about the importance of work. It's how we react to the situations that life throws upon us and our perception of work that differentiates the beggar who is healthy but lazy and the boy who is disabled but hardworking. As a great American writer, Robert Greene Ingersoll has said, every child should be taught that useful work is worship and that intelligent labor is the highest form of prayer. One can attain eternity by the service to mankind and the world in general. There have been men and women with great scientific temperaments who have made this world a better place to live in. You all might know who the man in the picture is. Yes, he is none other than the Bhaskara, popularly known as Bhaskaracharya. Bhaskara too was a famous scientist and a great poet too. His father, Maheshwarapadhyaya, was a learned mathematician. Bhaskara's first teacher was his own father. Bhaskara invented Kalachakra, the time clock. And there is enough and more reasons for us Kannadigas to be proud of, for he was born in Vijayapura at Karnataka. Bhaskara represents a significant contribution to mathematical and astronomical knowledge in the 12th century. Bhaskara's work on calculus predates Newton and Leibniz by over half a millennium. Now here are the pictures of some renowned scientists. See whether you can identify them and recollect at least one contribution of each of them in the field of science. First one is none other than Sir Isaac Newton, who formulated laws of motion and gravity. He also invented calculus. Second one is Madame Marie Curie, who found radioactivity and elements polonium and radium. Third one is Homi J. Bhabha, father of India nuclear program. Next comes Vikram Sarabhai, father of India's space program. Next, Jagdish Chandra Bose, pioneer of microwave optics. He invented chrysograph, a device for measuring the growth of plant. Last but not the least, James Watt invented steam engine and developed the concept of horsepower. In this lesson, we will learn about one such equally great qualities, Sir C.V. Raman. Sir C.V. Raman was born on November 7, 1888 in Trichy. He was the son of Chandrasekhara Iyer and Parvati Ammal. Sir C.V. Raman was a great scientist. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for his work on scattering of light and his discovery of the effect of rays, that is Raman effect. The government gifted him 25 acres of land to carry out further research work. Raman Institute was a dream child of Sir C.V. Raman. Chandrasekhara Iyer was a professor of physics at Hindu College, Visakhapatnam. Raman studied there at the Hindu College High School. He was very much interested in science from his boyhood days. Even as a boy, he had made the model of a dynamo. During his school days, he borrowed science books from college students and read them. Thus, from his early days, he showed great interest in science. Unfortunately, he used to fall sick every now and then, and he was not able to attend school regularly. In spite of his poor health, he got first class in his matriculation examination when he was only a boy of 12. He passed the intermediate examination from Hindu College and joined Presidency College Madras for his BA. His relatives wanted him to give up science and take history and economics as his special subjects for BA. Since Raman had made up his mind to study science, he took physics. He passed his BA, securing the first rank and a number of prizes. He passed his MA in physics in January 1907. After his MA, Raman wanted to go to the United Kingdom for higher studies in science. But his health broke down again and he could not go. This was the greatest disappointment in his life. His relatives asked him to give up his study of science and take a competitive examination in Calcutta in history and economics. Raman did so and got along well with his new subjects. He got the first place in the competitive examinations and was appointed Deputy Accountant General in 1907 at Calcutta. His relatives perhaps felt happy to see that Raman had settled down well in life. But Raman was not happy. How could a scientist like Raman put up with the life of a Deputy Accountant General? He felt like a fish out of the water in his new post. But he still had hopes of becoming a scientist and was waiting for an opportunity. Dear students, that's all for now. We will move on to the question answer session. Question number 1. Who were Raman's parents? Raman's parents were Chandrasekhara Iyer and Parvati Ammal. Question number 2. Why was Raman not able to attend school regularly? Answer. Raman used to fall ill quite often. So he was unable to attend school regularly. Question number 3. Where did he complete his intermediate examination? Answer. He completed his intermediate examination from Hindu College, Visakhapatnam. Question number 4. What subjects did his relatives advise him to take for BA? Answer. His relatives advised him to take history and economics as subjects for BA. Question number 5. Why could not Raman go to the United Kingdom for higher studies? Answer. Raman's health broke down again, so he could not go to UK for higher studies. Next we will have assignment session. In that V1, fill in the blanks with the opposites for the underlined words. Next V4, make compound words with the words given in the column A and column B and make sentences of your own. Thank you.